and thanks for keeping it real again today with Troy. And today I've got a special guest on Keeping It Real, and I'm going to tell you the stats before I dive into who this person is. This person has a team of 25 members, and then they have 4 on staff, so 29 total people in their organization. They did 499 units last year. That's right. He couldn't get to 500, and we'll give him some crap for that as well. But 178 million in total sales volume on an average sales price of 330,000. They this year they're top 4 in units, and in GCI they're top 7. This person's out of the greater Baltimore area. He's become a good friend of mine almost instantly. I had some time to spend with him in Baltimore this year at Summit. And for all of you out there today, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Andrew Undem. Andrew Undem, everybody. Andrew, thank you so much for taking your time on being here. Clearly, you are a very busy person, and yet I really appreciate you carving out a few minutes for me today.
Hey, I'm happy to be here, Troy. I always tune in to what you guys are doing in Nevada, Arizona, California. And a lot of people look up to you guys in the network because you guys run a first-class operation. Slight correction, we hung out at Summit in Boston, not Baltimore. Unfortunate.
Oh, gosh, I blew that, didn't I? I just
Baltimore's
blew it. You know what? It started with a B, and it's kind of in the same place. So it was close. It was close. But it was Boston, and it was a blast, too, by the way. Yeah. Well, Andrew, today I just want to extract some nuggets from you. I mean, you're doing things extremely well. You're a huge proponent of the brand. A couple of weeks ago, we just had the Alan Dalton Southwest Tour take place with the Forever Movement, which you are a big part of, by the way. And I thought this would be a great way to keep that momentum moving and really share kind of some of the things you're doing. So if you don't mind, I'd love to ask you maybe 4 or 5 questions today.
Yeah, let's let it rip. Happy to share.
Awesome. So, Andrew, let me start with this. As one of the largest supporters in this Forever movement that we're making with the Forever Agent, I would love it if you could share maybe the top 3 things that you focus on with the Forever movement and how those 3 things are most effective in your business today.
Troy, that's a good question. You know, the Forever Agent movement, or as Alan would say, manifesto, marketing system, and mantra. So many things. It's so powerful, and I was really drawn to it. You know, I hadn't known Alan for more than 8 months. I see him at convention, we link up, and I just knew that this guy was operating on a frequency that would help me get to the next level. So I said, whatever it takes, I got to get closer to this guy. And anyone who knows his history, which all your business sales executives now do, I mean, this guy's been there and done that. Like, you know, today I was just with Ryan Serhant, the #1 agent on the planet from New York City, selling billions. Alan was doing that in the 80s when he was my age. He was listing 10,000 condos, listing President Nixon's house, creating the national marketing campaigns for all these companies. So he really is a treasure. And he's kind of, at least to me, the keeper of that vision, of that Forever Agent movement. And the top 3 things to answer the question, you know, we spend a lot of time pulling apart, here's what agents do, and here's what I think a Forever Agent would do that's different. And you know that. We put a little book together that we gave out at Summit. For me, the top 3 would be, number 1, first and foremost, is the customized home marketing system or customized home marketing proposal. If you're serious about the longevity of your career in this business, you have to be very good and skilled at how you look at acquiring listings, which is a term, of course, as Alan doesn't like, because we've dragged that term through the industry for 200 years. It doesn't mean anything, has no representational value. But we came up with, here's what I'm doing to take all these listings. And Alan's had this 7-level step-up thing that I'm sure he sold it to other brands for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And we came up with what we called the Forever Agent Customized Home Marketing Proposal. He should get 99.9% of the credit because it was his stuff. But that's been so impactful for me for a couple of reasons. A, I've been able to train all the agents on our team who do take listings on how to present properly. Based on the 4 Ps, which are preparation, present and propose, pricing, and the post follow-up. With a single sheet of paper that's so powerful, and if you can wrap your head around presenting that confidently, A, you're going to convert more listings at a commensurate fee. But more importantly, Troy, is you're going to be confident to do the behavior that's going to allow you to go out and get in front of more sellers.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you own that concept of the customized home marketing system and you believe it, it's almost like no one's going to say no to me if I'm sitting at their kitchen table presenting this. And if you can get to that level, you can't help but succeed. So that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Two, we're big on open houses. So we're here in Greater Baltimore, beautiful downtown neighborhoods, brick row homes. I'm sick of the national media. You know what? This is a great place. Major East Coast metropolitan, number one roll-on, roll-off port. Maryland, by the way, wealthiest state per capita, sandwiched between the political capital and the financial capital of the world. Chesapeake Bay. I'm a homer if you can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the Baltimore accent too much, but it sounds like this. Come on here, get some crabs, hon. So we love Maryland here. We love this market, and we do a lot of open houses. The Forever Agent content-rich open house is a concept we created, that Alan created, I should say, where during these open houses, and I'm not going to take over the whole segment with this, Troy, but the basic is this: don't have them sign in, have them sign out.
Yeah.
Be extremely prepared and use all the stuff that's actually already in the marketing center and learn center, which I don't think our network uses enough.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Agreed.
if you use these programs in the content-rich open house that are statistically shown to attract all walks of life, like moving with pets, downsizing, the renter to buyer upgrade program, downsizing with distinction. There's like 30 of them.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a content-rich open house, you won't have to accost these people. You have so much value where you meet them where they are, giving them what they want. So that's a big one. That's two. And then it's kind of just as simple as it's just a mindset thing with the Forever Agent. We don't call them listings or past clients. They're marketing proposals and forever clients. And we're already creating a lot of our own programs like the renter to buyer upgrade program. It's not a first time home buyers are typically renters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all part of the Forever Agent movement. They're looking at things in a holistic way.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And you hit so many key points that Alan hit last week as well. Even the cooperative showing instructions was amazing. I absolutely love that aspect of it. Somebody opening a closet and thinking it's a third bedroom, that just doesn't go well. But I love that you're incorporating so much of that. And Alan was a genius when he came up with all this. The cool thing is, Andrew, is you've adopted so much of what Alan has taught and created over, like you said, the last 20, 30, 40 years, however long that it's been. But it works brilliantly today, and you're proving that with your business, with everything you're adopting. You wanted to go to the next level. This is one area you said, this will take me to the next level. And you guys are doing phenomenal right now in an opportunistic market. So, yeah, very, very well done. Let me ask you about your plans for 2023. What are your plans at a high level, if you wouldn't mind sharing? Do you have one WIG that you're looking to accomplish? Right now in our organization, we're viewing Q4 as really our Q1. Right now, given real estate's on a 90-day cycle, we're planning, we're prepping, and we're moving into our new year already. So I'd love to hear a little bit about what you're doing with you and your team.
Yeah, we developed our mission and vision and values kind of statement, and we're really serious about that. I used to think that was kind of, corny or whatever, but when you're trying to lead people and grow an organization that's much bigger than one person, that becomes really important. Mm-hmm. And part of our vision is we wanted to get to a point where we're selling 1,000 units a year. So we're about halfway there. We'll do over 500 this year. But to answer the question, in 2023, we want to be at 680 units. That would be like 225 million if our average sales price stays around the same. So that's the win. We're not going to get to 1,000 next year, particularly in a market that may see less transactions. But I do think we will increase even in this down market. I'm convinced we're going to sell more in 2023 than we did in 2022 because we're focused, because we run the 4 disciplines of execution, which is another thing I got from the brand. When I heard Gino and back when Chris was here, they were big on that. I adopted that like this. Mm-hmm. I guess the message here is when you see something that you know is going to work, that you know is good, that believable people are telling you to do. It's called believability weighted decision making. Find 3 people who are clearly know what they're doing, get their opinions, and take some action. That's what we're about. So whether it's running 4DX, the 12-week year we're big on, which is a quarterly program. Because look, no one cares if you miss your goal in Q1 next year. Big whoop. We got 3 more quarters. Let's go. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Breaking things down quarterly is very important. But what I'm doing, so I don't, I'll do 30 or 40 million in production myself, but I try to hand out as much as I possibly can. We have a lot of mouths to feed. So I'm more about getting our systems dialed in, getting our marketing proposal perfect, getting our onboarding process perfect, how we're selecting and developing agents onto our team and keeping that culture right is kind of what I'm personally focused on. So I have my own wigs over here. But that's the name of the game, because in this market, I think you're going to see a flight to quality. People want to be with brands they trust, with teams they trust, with people who show up to work every day and know where they're going.
I love
Because
that. Hey, yeah, no, I appreciate that, Andrew. And you actually covered my next question was really in an opportunistic market. What are 3 things you're doing to ensure that you're going to hit your DRC, your daily revenue commitment? And I think you just shared most of that with me, really right there. It's just your focus. It's focusing on 40X. It's focusing on the Forever Agent movement, the Forever Agent system. And again, you've listened to folks that have either done this very well over the last few years, that have a high believability factor due to the credibility that they have, due to the actions that they took to get the results that they were looking for at the same time. So thank you again for sharing that. As one of the top teams, Andrew, in the Berkshire Hathaway Home Services network, what are 3 things you do to utilize the power of the brand, and how has that helped you to propel your business? We talk about the power of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I'm continually talking about this in offices with agents, and really the unique value proposition that Berkshire Hathaway brings. And I have my version of it from a global level, a local level, and even a micro level. But I'd love to hear from you as well as a top team in our organization.
Troy, I'm still new to the brand. Less than just right around 2 years, maybe just past the 2-year mark. So I see everything with some fresh eyes. We had a team at Remax, we were acquired. Now, boom, we have this new brand. So I really spent a lot of time saying, how am I going to leverage this? What can we do? How do we use and leverage Berkshire Hathaway Home Services for us here in Baltimore? Mm-hmm. And that's a never-ending pursuit. Mm-hmm. But what I found, Troy, and you know this, is this brand has the best operators. Mm-hmm. And it's not really close, in my opinion. Now, operators at the brokerage level, because these brokerages are essentially giant teams. However you look at it, you're managing people and we're trying to sell as much real estate as possible. It's not rocket surgery, but it just is what it is. And this brand has these brilliant operators building these conglomerates, like the guy you work with, Mark Stark. That guy blew my mind in Omaha 2 years ago. This is the first time I ever heard DRC. So I'll go back to that, because here's what I do with the DRC. I plan everything the night before. So if I'm going to hit, and my daily revenue commitment is I'm not going to have any follow-up left unchecked, and following up with myself a lot of times too, because I said I'm going to make X amount of content. We're big on video. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's Mark's used to be door knocking and for sale by owns or expires. That's not me. I like to create content, use digital marketing, create compelling content, distribute it properly, and time block that out, and then make sure there's no follow-ups left unchecked at the end of the day before I plan my next day. That's my DRC, because I know when I do that, I tell myself I'm unstoppable. I know what I'm going to do every day. Now, I got to put it in the chat somewhere, because there's a explosion link from Mark's talk 2 years ago. It's not on YouTube, but I'm going to send it out. I've watched it like 100 times. Mm-hmm. It's so good, and he goes through it, and you guys have probably heard it, but for the global network, if you haven't heard his talk on the DRC and clarity, it's a game changer. You should probably stop listening to me and go listen to that. But for the brand, Alan's taught me so much, and we talked a lot about that. But one thing in particular that we need to take to heart, because this is not just semantics, as Alan would say, is the halo effect. Mm-hmm. The halo effect simply means that the way the consumers see a brand in one area will impact how they see the brand in another area. There's like a halo effect. And we're so lucky we're the only ones in the entire industry that has a brand that's ranked in the top 5 of any brands for trust. We're the only brand that can document trust, which is why I'm always saying we're the leaders of trust and innovation, not technology, but innovation. And I believe that, and it is true.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to know how to effectively communicate that to your clients. So I do it like this, Troy. I say, how important do you think brands are in general at influencing consumer behavior? They say, pretty important. I say, yeah, I got your Nikes on, whatever. It's got my Peter Millar on, fine. Exactly. It is very important. Well, our brand actually stands for strength, integrity, longevity, and stability. It also represents fiscal success. And there's a halo effect. So anybody can put a sign in your yard, Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Not my sign. And you just like that. So that's how you got to leverage the brand. And you can do it with buyers, you can do it with sellers, you can do it with investors, you can do it when you're recruiting agents. And I think we do a nice job putting on some world-class events too.
Yeah. Something that you have, Andrew, and Ellen obviously does very well is you guys just have that next level of confidence when you're talking to consumers. Alan has that when he's talking to our sales executives because he fully believes it because he's lived it and done it. And the same thing with you. It's not disingenuous. You're living exactly what you're doing. We had a mastermind recently with a lot of our top professionals, not a lot, we took 12 of our top professionals in the Arizona market, under 40. And the underlying theme with that was leveraging your lifestyle. And they're the same way, Andrew. They have the same qualities you have. They've got a lot of swagger. They believe in what they're doing. They believe in the brand. They know the brand will help them, and they know the brand will help the consumer just from a credibility standpoint as well. And that's why I enjoy talking to you so much. And we've created this fast friendship. It's just the fact that there's so much you're doing that aligns with everything that we are really trying to educate throughout our network and our organization. And it becomes difficult at times because there's so much noise out there. Everybody's got their pitch. Everyone has their noise, but it's just different with this brand. And today you've really done a great job of exemplifying just how you've taken the brand to another level and the forever movement, the forever agent movement inside of that brand. And you're really sharing that with not just all of the individuals that you're working with on your team, but all of your consumers and your clients, not your past clients, but your clients. And the big takeaway, and I did a write-up on this recently, is just remove the word past. They're just your clients. They're just your clients. And I say just, which I shouldn't say that, but they are your clients. Remove the word past. So, Andrew,
one other thing, because I have to bring this up. Every time I've ever asked someone for help at the brand, they've helped me. From Jimmy Burgess, Vince Lisi, you. Hey, remember, I couldn't even get into the event because I didn't have my name tag in Boston. Troy Ryerson stops them and says, do you know who that is? That's Andrew Undem. And they let me in. I was about to have to walk like 8 blocks back in the dark. Everyone was helping. Mark, after I saw his talk, I said, can you tell me more? He's on the phone. When I met Alan, oh my gosh, I've spent so much time with him. So I challenge anyone watching this, wherever you are in the global network, you have to lean in. Because it's a two-way street. And what I found is if I was willing to go halfway, every single time people in this brand met me more than halfway. And that didn't happen at my last brokerage. I don't think it happens at every brokerage.
Yeah.
If they see someone who's hungry and talented, they want to help that person. Yeah. Much like probably we all are. If you see someone who's really good, say, yes, this person's got it. So when the student's ready, the teacher appears. And I just thought of one other thing. I'm looking at a community. There's 300 lots coming up. I can't talk too much about it. Big project. Talk to Alan, talking to some people at the network level. Mm-hmm. And I bet I'm going to include into my pitch for these to get Berkshire Hathaway's global network behind some PR for this community. It's little things like that. Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah. Well, and likewise, Andrew, again, thank you so much for everything you do for the brand and really standing for what we all believe in here. And you're such a great partner for all of us too. So, Andrew, let me just end today by thanking you and honoring you. Andrew, you're a class act. You're a stand-up guy. You're a good friend, and I'm just excited to continue to watch your business grow and flourish. And as you know, I'm here for you. If there's ever anything I can do for you, happy to drop whatever it is and help you out. And we're going to have to get you out here to Las Vegas sometime so these folks can experience you live as well. But really appreciate all you do, my friend.
Hey, I'll be at Summit, or not Summit. I'll be at the convention. I'll be in Vegas. Mark said he's got something special planned for me, so I'm holding him to that.
Awesome.
And I'll close with this. I'm just one small speck of this forever agent movement. There's 55,000 agents. There's so much talent around, and I know Alan's going and grabbing some of these talented people, and it takes all of us. So we need as much help as we can get on that forever agent movement and lean into it. And we're all just ambassadors here. That's all we are.
That's it. And we're just starting. I mean, that's the big thing is we're just starting. And I'm excited to see where this goes. And Alan says it best, hey, look, we're in the infancy of this forever movement and really what it means. And in 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 years from now, it could be the defining piece at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and really sets all of us apart from the rest as well. So appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for taking the time. Look forward to talking to you soon, Andrew.
Thanks again.
See you later. Bye-bye.